All right, we are back for our final session for Ask Day Summer 2023, and we're wrapping up with a bang. We have Donnie Funderud. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Funderud.
Funderud. I knew I
missed closer than most.
Okay, well that helps. Donnie is here, and his presentation is about direct mail in a digital world. So we've talked a lot about technology and the advancements that technology is taking our society as well as senior living communities. But one of the best ways to engage potential residents in their families are through direct mail, and we've kind of hinted at the fact that sometimes email doesn't find its home and it's hard to really connect with people. And I always say sometimes you can look at direct mail as a Trojan horse to get you to the digital world. And so I'm really excited to hear what Donnie has to say in his presentation about how to marry those two audiences, because a lot of direct mail has to do with having the right data and really being able to leverage that for best practices. So before we get started, Donnie, we need one interesting fact about you, if you don't mind, to get us started so everybody can get to know you a little better. So please share something with us.
Absolutely. So, I'm jealous of Dave and his wherever in the world he is at right now. So my interesting fact in regards to that is, once I hang up on this call, I will be heading to the mountains for an annual Labor Day family camping trip with about 15 to 20 of us that I've been doing since I was probably 5 years old. So
that is awesome. And so Donnie might wrap up his presentation about 10 minutes early, just so he can make that smooth. And we'd understand that. But Donnie, thank you for taking time for this conversation. Like I said, we're looking forward to it, and I will hand it off to you at this point.
Right. I appreciate it. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Dave, Larry, for having us. Get a screen up here. All right. So direct mail in a digital world, leveraging direct mail in the digital age to create a more integrated omni-channel marketing strategy. So most of you guys and gals may know of SENIOROI as a data company. And really, we're a lot more than that. We are we've been in the direct marketing, direct mail business for 39 years. So we know quite a bit about direct mail. It's a focal point in our company. And so, anytime I get the opportunity to talk about direct mail to this space, is a blessing. So we're going to talk direct mail. We're going to talk landing pages. I'm going to touch email, but more importantly, I'm going to talk about informed delivery with the U.S. Postal Service and what that looks like, if you're familiar with it or if you're not. We'll talk about social media, specifically how we utilize Meta and targeted social media. And then we're going to wrap it up and look through some results and some client examples, so you can just kind of see what the results look like. So the only way to unlock the potential of targeted digital and direct mail strategies is to take a combined approach. And so, one of the things that at SENIOROI that we really believe in is the data. And that's kind of, we may first and foremost be a direct marketing, direct mail company, but as far as senior living goes, we are a digital company, a data company. And so everything starts with the data, with your lead list, your targeted list. And so we're not going to really talk about those things, but those are first and foremost in terms of importance when it comes to leveraging direct mail and digital, because if you don't have the right data, then you might as well be throwing money away. And so when we talk about the benefits of combining the two, you can increase your reach. There's a definite improved engagement. And when we utilize both together, we can save money in the long run because we're going to narrow in our focus on the right people. And so when we combine digital marketing and direct mail, we can really get targeted and reach a wider audience, but more importantly, target that audience for a better response. always like to look up some numbers, especially when it comes to proving the value of direct mail. And so here's some numbers from SQL Response from their 2023 direct mail benchmark report. And 91% of marketers believe integrating direct mail and digital channels has a positive impact on campaign performance. We definitely see when we marry the two products together that digital supports and lifts direct mail, and direct mail obviously drives people to the digital world. 75% of marketers integrate their email with direct mail. 52% of consumers will Google the brand name and visit the website of a relevant mail piece. Now, the key wording there is a relevant mail piece. You know, direct mail gets a bad rap because in the past it's been termed as junk. You know, we're not executing large mass mailings. You know, we're executing targeted direct mail, and so, you know, by being targeted, we're trying to eliminate that stigma of junk. We're trying to get messaging into the right people's hands so that you know, we're making them aware of our products, our communities, the different things that we have to offer. So there is a place for direct mail, especially in senior living. So Americans feel the most comfortable when they receive direct mail. I don't know about you, but you know, when I go to the mailbox, even though I'm in the industry, when I go to the mailbox, I see what I've got. I do have that 10 to 15 seconds that I'm walking back to the garage, and there is a place for the relevant mail, and then there's a place for the mail that's not so relevant. And we all know where the not relevant mail goes, but anything that's relevant, you know, it goes and it gets stuck on our countertop and it stays there for sometimes way too long. But you know, that's the power of direct mail. If something is of interest, people are gonna hold on to it. They may not need it right when we send it, but they'll hold on to it. It'll sit off to the side until there's a moment that they need it. And you know, that's where part of the staying power of direct mail is. So when we talk direct mail, you know, there's several things that can make a good direct mail piece. And like I mentioned earlier, most of you know us for our lists and our CRM solutions, and both are super important when we're executing direct mail. You've got to be targeting the right prospects. If you're not, then yeah, you're definitely going to get, your piece is going to get thrown away. You're not going to see the ROI that you're expecting. And so you want to use high quality images. You know, personalization is key whenever possible. Strong call to action, a good follow-up. You know, these are all elements that you should think about when you're designing and creating direct mail. I would say that some of the things that I see the most often are the quality of images could be improved upon. You know, oftentimes I look at some of the direct mail that we send out, or some of the direct mail that I send out, or that I receive for senior living marketing. And you know, one of the things that baffles me is that we've got our communities where we're trying to, this is sometimes our first impression that we are giving to a potential resident. And the quality of the direct mail pieces that we get, whether it's really poor imaging or poor design or poor paper quality, does all have a really big impact, especially if you're a high-end CCRC and you're commanding, you know, over $1 million in entry fees. a cheap direct mail is not going to move the needle very often when you're trying to make that first impression. So something to keep in mind is, what's that first impression that you're leaving with your prospects. So when we talk about first impressions, we sent a piece out recently. If you didn't get this, feel free to DM me. I'll drop one in the mail to you. When this campaign we launched for ourselves, and it is a self-promotion, but the design of the direct mail piece, it's a super heavy card stock, a soft velvet coating, and then the gentleman, the beads and the beard and these things are all highlighted with raised gloss highlights, so to get that feel and that texture. That's the kind of quality that I'm talking about, that you want to, hey, this is cool, I want to hang on to this. That's kind of the thing that we want. Of course, we've got our QR code, we've got our call to action. Not a whole lot on here. I'm not overloading it with copy. I'm really trying to just get to the point, make an impression right off the bat. When we go from direct mail, really key that we drop a landing page on there somewhere. Now, whether we're going to drive them to a website, whether we're going to drive them to a landing page, we want that experience from the direct mail piece to translate over to our landing page. We want a clear headline, a good call to action. We want those images to be compelling. Sometimes testimonials important, certainly contact information. But what are we trying to do? It's a lot of times when on our senior living clients, when we go to a landing page, what do we want from them? Well, we obviously want them to fill out a form and give us a name and an email and a phone number. But we've got to usually give something back. Is it 5 tips on preparing your home for sale? Is it 7 things to think about when financing your retirement? Whatever it is that you give, you want to give something back in return. Because the most important thing is we want to capture the individual. This is how we track whether the campaign was a success or not. Is the ROI? Did we get a name and a number? Are we able to contact them? But we've got to have that information when they come to visit. So when we come to a landing page, our landing page for this particular campaign was very similar in the look and feel of our direct mail piece. For this particular campaign, we really want people just to share stories. And that's really all we're looking for. We're not really asking for a whole lot here. Again, this is more of a feel-good, kind of a high brand type of a campaign, but we're creating a place for people to talk about the seniors that are important in their life, whether it is a resident in a community, whether it is a parent, a grandparent, whatever, a mentor, whatever that looks like. A few more stats. Consumers keep an interesting piece of mail and refer back to it later. That's definitely the case in my household. 45% of consumers feel direct mail is less intrusive than other types of advertising. You're not going to get a pop-up with a direct mail, that's for sure. 40% of consumers enjoy learning about new brands and products. I mean, when I get something new that I haven't seen before that's in line with my personality, I'll look at it, especially if it's something that's related to the outdoors. That will definitely get my attention to at least look at it. I may not act on it, but I will at least look at it. And this kind of leads into, the lifespan of direct mail. 17 days compared to the lifespan of an email of 17 seconds. And I don't even know if it's that high. I know for me, I get so many emails that it's just another display tactic. But the tangibility of direct mail, if it's something that is in line with what I'm thinking about, what my personality is, I'm going to hold on to it and we're going to take a look at it. So that leads me to email. You know, I'll be the first to say I'm not a huge fan of email, but it does have its place. It's needed to build and nurture stronger relationships. Two primary tactics when we're looking at email, of course, is spam and permission based. And so we can certainly use the direct mail to drive interest into and capture that email for opt-in to do email marketing. And when we're talking about that type of email marketing, that is that's definitely something that's important in our space. What we find, what we see that doesn't work as well is when we buy or rent email addresses, and we do email blasts in conjunction with those with direct mail on that type of campaign. The results we see are typically pretty low. We've done our own internal testing in terms of looking at the quality of email data, and I may have a list of 15,000 names, and I can produce a list of 12,000 email addresses off of those, but how many of those email addresses are really to the right person, or is it just to someone in the house, or is it a burner email address that they used a long time ago? Those are the kinds of the things that we're seeing that make us hesitant to do spam or blasting of emails, of purchased emails. Email under the right context, though, absolutely should be part of the marketing mix. Purchasing email lists, we get that question a lot, and I think there's better, more effective ways. One of those effective ways is through informed delivery, and hopefully you've seen this and you've signed up, but if not, go to the USPS, do a Google search on informed delivery. It's an opt-in service through the post office designed to marry direct mail and the digital world. There's 55 million registered users. 68% of email notifications are opened every day. It's free for consumers, and it's free for marketers as well. Signups continue to grow, and so you ask, what is it? It's an image of all of the mail and packages that are coming into your mailbox every day. And for no other reason than that is a reason to sign up for it. Just so you get that email, you can see what's coming. If you've got a bill, if you've got a package, because you'll get that report in a daily digestible email from the post office. Where it benefits marketers is the ads, the scanned images of the mail that are coming into your mailbox that day can be digitized, linkable. They can become interactive. We can use custom images, URLs that we can direct consumers to that digital experience. As far as the daily digital routine, you get that physical mail piece in the mailbox, you get that tactile feeling of handling mail that we talked about earlier. But then you get that digital experience of, okay, I see this now. It's not in the mailbox, but I'm looking at it now and it's of interest. I'm going to go ahead and click on this right now and see what it is. It's a pretty simple process. Consumer signs up for informed delivery. Post office takes a picture of the mail as it goes through their machines. They match it up. They send an email out, and then the consumer gets an email, the physical mail after the email. And I'm sorry, I'm picking up the pace a little bit just because I can see I'm going to run out of time. Just on recent campaigns, I did want to share just some recent campaigns that we did. 10,000 mail pieces go out. We had matched up to the same amount of emails. 7,800 of them were opened. So 72% open rate. People are opening these emails. But more importantly, we're getting click-through rates. People are opening the emails and they're clicking on the color ads that we've set up for them. And that's going out to whether it's going to their landing page, to their website, whatever place they want to direct them to. And we all know the email, we have our junk in our email, so I'm not going to dwell on this. Next thing I wanted to kind of just touch on from a digital standpoint is Meta. And you know, we believe heavily, this is where I much rather would see clients and spend their marketing dollars is on Meta, Facebook, Instagram, in terms of a targeted experience. So we know Meta, you know, removed special ad audiences and has made it difficult for us to target seniors for housing and our communities, but there's still a way around that. And what we do is we take the existing prospect list. We do some things on the back end to it so that when we create a custom audience, we max out as many matches as we can. And so we start sending advertising just in the Facebook newsfeed to a percentage, generally 40 to 50% of the same people who are getting the direct mail in the mailbox. And so they're seeing the direct mail, they're seeing the ad in their newsfeed. You know, we're going to run awareness and traffic. We're going to run lead engagement, form fills to drive people back into the CRM so that you can get in front of them right away. Same with targeted display. You can take that same targeted list, you can create a virtual fence around their physical address, their home address, capture devices, and create a sense of, we got direct mail coming into the mailbox. We're also, if you're on your tablet, if you're in your digital space, we're going to drive advertising to that as well. So you'll definitely see a lift in your response rates on your direct mail when you do that. So understand your audience, develop a strategy, test and measure. These are the things that give you value with direct mail and digital strategies. When we understand our target audience, it allows us to develop that comprehensive strategy. We can test and measure results, but more importantly, we can capture this information. We can use it for retargeting. We can use it for attribution. We can use it to see, you know, are we marketing to the right people? Just some real quick for some examples. You know, recruiting is one example. Here's the corresponding Facebook and social media ads that went along with this, as well as geofencing and how we want to, since this was specifically for recruiting, this was more of a, you know, a general area. Results over the course of this campaign, you know, 2,800 clicks, 1.5% CTR, 13 on Facebook lead forms. So go back to the community. I'm going to jump ahead. Let's see. When we look at the lead gen, we already saw this stat. So incorporating Google Ads to help with that lift as well. When one of the things that's important, when we have someone who gets that direct mail piece and maybe they're not ready to act on it, but when they do act on it and they've seen your direct mail, they've seen your ad on Facebook, but then when they go to actually do that Google search of assisted living near me, retirement community near me, healthcare near me, whatever it is that they're searching for, this is where it's really important for the Google, for that pay-per-click to be optimized so that your name pops up right there in the top 3. Because once they see that, then the recognition, the recall is going to come back, and all of that work that we did on the front end to to build that awareness is where it's going to pay off here on your pay-per-click. And then, targeted marketing is the only way to ensure that our messages reaches the right people at the right time. And so direct mail and digital marketing are two tools that can help you do just that. And with that, come in right at 25 minutes. So thank you very much.
Well, that was great, Donnie. Really appreciate that. And you highlighted a really important topic in this space. Something I thought about is I have multiple email addresses, but I'll only have one mailbox. And something else you made note of, I'm like, that's very true, is that there are certain things that you get and you're like, I'm going to save this because I'm going to need it in the near future. And like you said, there's going to be that junk mail, but there's that one piece that you just kind of put to the side. Everybody has that space on their counter, and I do the same thing. I do have a quick question for you, because there's direct mail is not, all made equal. So you have from these the postcards that, you're just trying to get attention, to the nicer brochures where you're really trying to explain what your brand is made of, and really trying to showcase the properties. I didn't know if you can quickly kind of provide us what that cadence looks like when it goes from these direct mail postcards to the nicer brochures that you won't send as many out.
Sure. So one of the stats that I didn't put up here that I saw from the SQL direct response was just, at what point is too much direct mail from a brand? And respondents tend to say 4 to 5 in a year from a single brand is getting to be too much. One of the other things that I looked at and that I saw speaks specifically to this is that packaging and what the packaging looks like. In the past, we would spend a little more money on that really nice brochure, but you better make sure that it's really targeted, that you're reaching the right person. Over the last 2 years, with the problems that we've had in the paper industry with supply and price, everything has condensed down to 6x9 postcards. Get their attention, get them to the website, get them to the landing page. Let that do the heavy lifting. So we're not relying on brochures as much as we used to in the past. What we're starting to see more of is we're seeing a significant increase in the footprint of that 6x9, 6x11 postcard, but we're starting to see some die cut on the edges. The post office has recognized that volumes are down. They've got to adapt. They've got to adjust their machines so that they can handle different things. And so you'll see trailing edge die cuts. You'll see oblong pieces. We, for a while there, the craze in this space was the side fold self mailer, and it's still a popular piece, but that piece doubles your print mail cost. Mm-hmm. And postage unfortunately goes up twice a year now. That's not going to get any cheaper ever. The cost of paper skyrocketed. It really has. It's leveled off, but it's not going to go back down. It's like everything else. The cost isn't going to really fall back down. So, those side fold pieces have become super expensive. I mean, it basically doubles your cost on what you can do from a direct mail standpoint. So you either have to reduce your numbers, which we've seen a lot of people scale back, get more targeted. The future is going to be definitely in personalization. So whether it's Dear Bob, Mary Sue, or versioning, having the right image showcase on the piece for the particular audience. So are we marketing to an adult child? Then we need to make sure we have adult child imagery and messaging on the piece versus a prospect message and a prospect image for someone of prospect age. With the advancements of digital printing, we can do all of that in one run now and just change these things on the fly. So that's kind of what we're seeing right now.
That's great. Thank you for that feedback. And it's funny, as direct mail costs have gone up, a lot of people find it discouraging direct mail, but in a weird way, it actually opens up the more space in the mailbox. There's less competition now. So that's something we've experienced. Before we part ways and you get to go on your trip, please tell us where people can find you to further connect, as well as what conferences you'll be at.
Yeah, so I'm definitely on LinkedIn. That's a good place to get me. Easiest thing is to go to SENIOROI.com and connect with me there. I can spell out my name and email, but it'll just be confusing. But yeah, LinkedIn's the best place to connect with me. As far as conferences go, I know we were definitely busy in the spring. This year we've got 3 big ones, all national conferences. PACE, the National PACE Association annual meeting. Of course, we'll be at SMASH. And we'll wrap it up with Leading Age. So that's kind of where we'll be this fall.
Right. Donnie, thank you for taking time. I hope you enjoy time with your family and get to experience some outdoors. That's it for us. Ask Day. The 3-day event is come to a conclusion. Really want to highlight somebody special. Jillian Hurley, she's behind the scenes. She does so much to make this work. And I would just want to really give her a big shout out, because we couldn't do that host this without her and all of her hard work. Dave, thanks to you as well for the investment over the past few months and really the last year of getting all this together. I'd say closing remarks for me, I'm interested to hear what you have to say, Dave, is technology is bringing people together, not separating us. And that's something that's really shown through to over the last few days is, to lean into technology and don't be afraid of it. The other thing is leverage your relationships in the senior living space. There's some great people who are ready to help. And the last thing I'll say is that the future of senior living is very bright. We have some great people. There's going to be a lot of exciting changes, really positive changes moving forward. So it's going to be exciting times to be a part of this, and looking forward to what's to come. Dave, you have anything else to say?
I just want to thank all of our presenters for presenting. I want to thank all of our participants for watching. And I think, this is our way of giving back. We love this industry that we work in, and bringing everybody together to learn from each other. We all do similar things, but this through line of technology is, this is our way of giving back to everybody. So I'm glad for everybody who participated, and well, of course, and you can see Jillian and myself at SMASH. So yes, you can see Jillian will step out from behind the screen at SMASH this year. So I'm really proud of what we put together, and it's just been a great success, and can't wait to push it forward to the next evolution. So thank you to everybody.
Thanks, everybody. And we'll see you in about a month at all the conferences. So thanks again, and catch you soon.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Donnie.